start from the very, very top. How have you been able to, because you're a father, you're a husband, a monarch, an elder, a philanthropist, a writer, retired soldier, environmental activist, human rights activist, an intellectual, a mentor, so many feathers on just one cap. How have you been able to balance all these different, numerous, and divergent roles as a person? What's the secret? What has been your secret?
Well, the first thing is that the gods are wise.
Okay.
So I get a lot of inspiration from my environment and then from my background, where I was born, where I've lived, and the people I've met, and then even my wife. My wife has been quite supportive as well. So these roles from childhood, where I was born, where I grew up, the people I've met, they all help me fashion what I do today. And I've learned the secret of life for me is to do everything with passion. So if I'm playing, I play passionately. I'm going to be talking with you passionately.
Okay.
If I have to fight, I have to fight passionately. So once I set to do anything, I try to give it my best shot. You know, so maybe that is why we're doing 25 years in marriage as well today. You know, so I'm able to do all of these, you know, once I set my mind.
Okay. Now you're an author, and of course, besides the launch of your 2 new books, you've written numerous, you've penned numerous books, all revolving around environmental justice, environmental, like human rights activism. You've been very strong in activism, both environmental and human rights. How have you been able to balance those roles, as well as being a monarch? Because heavy, the head that wears the crown, it's a very, very big role. How have you been able to, seamlessly inculcate your activism, both environmental and human rights, as well as being a monarch?
Well, for once you're a monarch, historically,
yes,
you are the defender of your people. You are meant to advance your people's cause the best. Okay, so you are supposed to be the most passionate person in that community, in that kingdom, in that state. And so I am that type of person. I am supposed to be the best Ijaw man possible, the best Ekpetiama man possible, the best Bayelsa man possible. So I see it like second nature doing the things I do. For instance, when I look around me and I see things that are not right, I will immediately notice, and my training and experience is such that I want to look at the root cause. Why is this thing persisting? For instance, why has Nigeria been unable to prevent oil thievery, for instance?
Okay.
Why has Nigeria been unable to combat poverty, for instance? And all of that. And I see the answers just competing for ventilation around me. So it's not too difficult for me to do the things I do. I see them as natural, as my role. So the role of a monarch is not to eat rice and beans. The role of a monarch is to lead his people to prosperity, is to get his people out of slavery, is to make sure that his people are leading life well in their homes, in their environment. It's not like the armed forces of Nigeria.
Yes.
They're supposed to ensure that you and I are safe in the studio. Nobody comes from Cameroon or Ghana or America to come and disturb Nigerians in Nigeria.
Okay.
That is the role of a monarch, no less.
Now, you spent some time in the Nigerian army. How has that experience helped in being a people-centric monarch? How has that experience, because a lot of people feel that, the divide between military personnel and civilians is too wide to bridge. How have you been able to, with your experience in the army, how have you been able to, use that to, be a better monarch?
Well, yes, obviously, I liken being I liken the military to be like a vital and essential software.
Okay.
Okay. So when you download that software into your system, it becomes the major software in your system that you cannot remove anymore. So it takes over your system, and that is you. So it is difficult to remove the military in me. Perhaps if I were never in the military, maybe I wouldn't even be a monarch. Okay? So the military has largely affected me. It has made me bolder. It has made me look at things squarely. It has made me goal-oriented, more pragmatic, and all of that. So that is what a real military training brings to you. As a matter of fact, in some countries, they strive to have everyone trained in the military. I think those countries are doing well, you know, because, I mean, when you're not in the military, sometimes you do some kind of things they call semeseme. But as a military person, you can't be on parade and do semeseme now. You will be dealt with. And you can't go to the war front and also do semeseme. Because if you do that, you will be consumed. Your troops will be finished. You will be finished. You will lose your limb. You will lose your head. You will die. So you want to take serious things seriously. And then when it is time to play, then you know, yes, it's playtime, you know. So I do everything with all amount of seriousness, including what we want to do tomorrow.
Okay, then. Now, despite all of this, you are also an author.
Yes.
And being an author is like a full-time job. In fact, all the roles you carry are full-time jobs on their own. How have you been able to combine everything else as well as finding time to still write?
Yes, first and foremost, you must know that I am the Ibenanaowei of Ekpetiama Kingdom. Okay, not Ibenanowei of any other kingdom.
Yes.
So you should see me as a little different from Bala Blue and Bulaba.
Okay.
Different, yes. So I am just able to do it because, like I said before, the gods are wise. So I don't find writing difficult to do. I just write because there are things to write about. So I come to this studio, I have seen you, I can feel your voice, that your voice is excellent for this job and all of that. And I could just write something. I could write a whole book about my visit to this place if I desire.
Okay.
And it will be something so relatable, so interesting, so nice, you will want to read it twice. Okay, because I have discovered that writing itself is a weapon. And it's a weapon, it's a tool. Okay, let me use tool. Let me not be too military.
Yes, please.
It's a tool that could be used in advancing the cause of a people very effectively. And that is what I have deployed in the last 4 years. I've done 5 books in the last 4 years. You know, yes.
Quite a feat in itself.
Yes, and there are more books that are ready, you know. So the fact is that our story, we've been underrepresented. Certain interests in this country have been deliberate about being silent about our stories. They were not saying it. For instance, it will be surprising for you to note that the Nigerian federal government does not know the definition of an oil thief. Yes, no wonder for the last 27 years, efforts have been made towards curbing it, stopping it, preventing it, and for 27 years, the Nigerian state has failed woefully. Because if you ask, for instance, a security person to come into this room now and bring that man that is 8 foot tall, okay, and weighing 500 kilograms, and don't come out except you bring him out, will any soldier go out? Will any security man go out? No, because there is no such man here. So the federal government, first and foremost, was supposed to have properly defined who an oil thief is. And then told the soldier, when you go and bring that guy in dreadlocks. Okay, he's wearing red. Okay. And I mean, once they come here, they will pick him because they can see a guy like that, you know. So that is important. The Nigerian state sees the victim of oil and gas thievery as the thief. Yes. And so they've been getting it wrong. People don't steal oil, for instance, and put in their pockets or in their cheeks. They put it in vessels, ocean, sea-going vessels. And there's nobody in the Ekpetiama Kingdom that has one. I believe there's no one in your kingdom that has one. And so if no one in Bayelsa State has a sea-going vessel, it means that no one in Bayelsa State can be an oil thief. So the oil thief has to have vessels, has to have access to vessels, and it doesn't have to be here. So it could be in New York City, it could be in London, it could be in Panama, it could be somewhere else. And then he is stealing this oil, siphoning this oil, doing what is called subsidy racketeering and so on and so forth. That is what is done. So when you are here trying to disturb those people who are victims, who did not, whose homes, their grandfathers or their fathers were buying petroleum products for 3 times the price. Yes, everyone in Kulama has never bought petroleum products for normal price. Because when you bring the petroleum products from the refinery to Yenagua, you have to offload it into a boat, into a small tank, Abi,
yes,
and carry it to Fropa and go and offload it again into a tank. So you will pay for the sea going, yes. But everywhere else in this country that accessible by road, you take the oil, the petrol straight to the person's filling station and you sell. So there is no standard filling station in any riverine community in Bayelsa State, in River State, in Delta State, in Ondo State. And the country is not seeing a problem with that. When you want to come and take the crude oil, you can access the swamps,
yes,
with ease. But when it has to do with ensuring that petrodollars are also flowing in those creeks, you become stupid. And you leave a whole state with 8 LGAs for 20-something years and you don't see any problem with it.
It's 16 minutes to the top of the hour. We're still speaking with His Royal Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo, Agada IV, Ibenanaowei of Ekpetiama Kingdom on 97.5 Golden FM. Now, you have been, as an environmental activist and human rights activist of repute, an intellectual partner of the just struggle for resource control since the 1990s. How well is, are we winning this? Okay, I wouldn't want to liken it to a war, but how have we fared so far?
Well, we've done quite well, I would say.
In resource control?
Yes, we've done quite well, I would say.
Okay.
Because at least you're talking about it now.
Okay.
And a lot of people are talking about it. So we've made milestones. We've gotten River State, we've got Bayelsa State. We're having our own people as governors and as ministers and all.
Yes.
All these are progress. Are we where we are supposed to be? No. But we are also not where we used to be. Yes, like in a battle. Yes, we could liken it to a battle. In a battle, you could have shortcomings, and then you reappraise. So yes, there may be issues of security, issues of sincerity, and so on and so forth. But you won't blame it on us. It is our adversary. Our adversary is adept at doing what it does. And so it's like me taking you and 20 others and locking you guys in the Golden FM toilet, okay? And then after 15 minutes, someone snores, someone coughs, and then you say, my friend, why they cough on my body now? Why they push me now? Blah, 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 blah. That is what they have done. And then you are forgetting the man that has put you in that prison, okay? So that is what is going on. For instance, we do not have a state police, okay? We do not have a state police. There is no Bayelsa State Police. There is the federal government police. The federal government is hesitant in allowing states to have a police. So if, for instance, I do anything wrong here, okay, if I commit a crime, it is not for you to come and beat me when you are not a police. If you do that, you will be taking what? Laws into your hands. However, if the police tries to come and do its job, and if the IG says, police, leave that man, that's the end. Okay, that is the end. So scenarios like that have happened where the police top hierarchy could just truncate something if they don't want it to happen. Okay. So with respect to some of the things we'll have achieved, for instance, someone asks that, what of our 13%, how well are we using it and blah, blah, blah. How well are we not using it? When you determine what happens and who manages it from where you are, from the center. They determine everything.
Okay.
Have you wondered why until the MD of NEDC came on board, for instance, NEDC was just upside down going, round and round and round? Because that is what the center wanted it to be a siphon. So most of the time, the monies that they say they push to the Niger Delta do not really come here. And so if you look around, you won't see the money now. If it were there, you will have known. It is not here. Okay, so these are some of the shortcomings, and it makes us begin to heat up the environment, because people now become extremely broke, and so you become almost cannibalistic. You want to eat man and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
I am thinking that we should be smarter about it, but progress has been made. And these books, for instance, have been written all aimed at ensuring that people get enlightenment. Why would you want to commit suicide? Someone wants to kill you. Does not mean that you stick out your neck to be chopped off. That is suicide. That is stupidity. So we shouldn't fall for it. We shouldn't go and, for instance, bust a pipeline in your community, in your neighbor's community, just to pollute your own land. Okay, to spite, it's like cutting the nose to spite the face. That is not good enough. Someone is targeting you, targeting your resources, and wants you not to even be there if possible. So you have to be smart enough to understand that this is not an original idea of ours. This is someone trying to, rearrange us. And you should be smart at it. So if 20 persons are coming to attack me, for instance, and then I manage to now turn them against themselves and they start fighting, I'll be free, isn't it? Yes. So we shouldn't fall for that. We should understand that this is the enemy's idea. This is the oppressor's idea. This is the despoiler's idea. The oil and gas industry has been deliberate. They hire the best hands in this world. Yes, best lawyers, best engineers, best everything. How come, if they are so good, why do we have all the pollution around? The truth is that they are like mercenaries, okay, hired to ensure that they distort the truth, they mislead the people, they tell a lie. For instance, until now, if I ask you what is the name of where the first oil well is in Bayelsa State, you will miss it. The first ever oil well in Nigeria of commercial content. If I ask you, you won't get it. Because the oil industry has told a lie for about 70 years. Okay, but if you read the riddle of the oil thief, you will know that instead of Oloibri that is being peddled, it is Otuabagi. Okay, so it is taking us now tell the real story. There are a lot of wells that are named after Golden FM that are in my village. So if it's in my village and you call it Golden FM, you want to go and claim it. So my oil well, they here now, So you begin to cause conflicts. So the oil industry has been doing that. And they have PR experts, like I said before. And then the West enjoys what looks like free oil. The stolen oil in Nigeria is taken to England and America and other parts of Europe and China and India and elsewhere. Okay? They are not kept here. Now, don't these countries, for instance, Europe and America, don't they have the technology to see the ships? So they know that stolen oil comes to their country, but they enjoy it because it is cheap and good for them to use in their industries during winter to heat up their houses and so on and so forth. So that's the game, and we must understand the game.
All right, now tomorrow is a very, very big day for many, many reasons, and so much you have accomplished. Could you just, as on a lighter note, what role has your wife played in, because they say behind every successful man is a woman. Very briefly, what roles has your wife played in making you the person you are today, besides your individual accomplishments?
Yes. As a soldier, I was described as a lean, mean fighting machine.
Okay.
So a boxer, a karateka, an obstacle wizard, I was everything, a job marshal and all. And so my classmates felt that I would have difficulties even having a wife.
Okay.
And today they say, I must be choking my wife. Okay. And then some say, it's like your wife has tamed you. So I've had an excellent marriage, a sweet, beautiful wife, the Igrigi one of the universe. She is my designer. She picks my fabrics, for instance. She ensures that the home is right for me to function. Like I'm here now. It is because I have a wife that is doing what is supposed to be done. And you need to know that she's very popular. So tomorrow, she'll be populating the entire place, yes, because
all attention will shift to her.
Exactly. No, she is the one. She is the one behind it.
Okay.
So last year she said 60 years, because life expectancy in this part of the world is 40 years. Okay. The rest of Nigeria average is 53, 54. But Niger Delta, with all the pollution, no thanks to the oil industry, is 40 years. So you are going to be, 20 years plus, above 40.
Obviously a milestone.
It's worth celebrating, yes. And I said, I'm not a birthday person now, blah, blah. She said, okay, even if not, I will celebrate you. And then she started getting ready to celebrate me. So I had to join, ensuring that it is done. So it now became the Silver Jubilee of the marriage, and then the
Diamond Jubilee,
and then these two books. just to add to make it a full and interesting package where every attendee will have a story to tell.
That's
She's
fantastic.
been a wonderful, and then we have 2 children that are well brought up. Again, thanks to this dear lady who has made me who I am.
I can see the smile on your face already when mentioning her. Okay, so before we wrap things up, a lot of young people see the traditional institutions as relics of the past. They see no need to listen or heed the advice of elders today. Most youths feel that they know it all. They have all the ideas, they have all the technology, they have all the knowledge, and they don't need the elders. They don't need the traditional institutions. They don't need all of that old school stuff. What would you say? How would you, as an elder yourself, how would you reconcile the minds of the youths of today to help them understand or make them understand the relevance of heeding those who have come before you?
Okay.
In a nutshell.
Yes, you may need to read my books. Like I said, there are 5 of them. So
Okay.
you read them and you see what is in there. But let me tell you a story. There was a community in an environment, with other communities.
Yes.
And there are two different kingdoms, so they had some kind of trouble, okay? So when they went for the meeting, they argued and they felt that they should, they said they should go and kill, they wanted to kill all the elders in their community.
Yes.
And so they agreed, and then they went and they had killed all of them. So when they came back, when they reconvened, they now said, what to do is that you go and bring me a rope made of water. Okay?
Yes.
So that particular community now went back to go and bring a rope made of water. I mean, it's an impossibility.
Exactly.
So when they went back, they were cracking their heads on how to come back with a rope made of water. Otherwise, there are serious consequences. So somehow, the young men were all confused because it was to young people, So a rope made of water. The other community had their elders. This community had killed all their elders, so to speak. So go and make a rope out of water. So after being confused, towards the deadline, one of the youths actually did not kill his father. He had him at the attic, somewhere up there. So he climbed up and went and asked the father to say, wahala dey o, very soon they go finish all our village o. Say, then say make we make rope, bring rope where then use water make, He said, he laughed and said, when you go, ask them that, sorry, you forgot to take a sample, that they should give you a sample of a rope made with water. And then you come and follow exactly so you don't make a mistake, So he was happy, and then they went back. And the youth went again for this meeting. And then when they say, where the rope when I make come, he said, well, why not, we forgot to collect a sample.
Give a sample.
So can you give us a sample? So when he told this to the elders from the other community, they laughed and said, there's an elder in your town. He didn't kill all,
Okay.
So that is the role of an elder. An elder is a repository. Yes,
Of knowledge.
Yes, and if you wish that off, well, of course, every young man will grow old someday. So don't think that if you are young today, you'll be young forever. No, you will also grow old, and there is a place for everyone in this universe, including the elders.
All right, then. As we wrap things up, we'd want to say a heartfelt felicitation, or send our heartfelt felicitations to you on your Diamond Jubilee, Silver Jubilee, and launch of your 2 new books tomorrow. We have been speaking with His Royal Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo, Agada IV, Ibenanaowei of Ekpetiama Kingdom. Is there anything else you just want to add, before we wrap things up? Just a brief, like a salutation for your subject, to your so many people that look up to you. As a role model.
Yes, I want to say that tomorrow is going to be a great day. From what I'm seeing, it's going to be a tight day. It's going to be a populated day. And let everyone, as much as possible, put up his or her best. Because the people will be coming from outside, and some may not. Some are coming for the first time. Like there's one chief coming from Kebbi. This is his first time in this part of the world. So let them all live with a good impression
stories of
the Ijaw nation, of the Ijaw people. Yela
Wonderful.
Famokemio, yes. Yela
Yes.
Famokemio.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Your Royal Majesty, for talking with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
It is 2 minutes to the top of the hour. It's still 97.5 Golden FM. Stay tuned. The headline news, the midday news comes up at the top of the hour. And after that, the rest of the midday groove on 97.5 Golden FM. And that's the end of our special interview session with our very highly esteemed guest, His Royal Majesty, King Bubaraye Dakolo Agada IV, Ibenanaowei of Ekpetiama Kingdom. Good morning.